You're making me sweat. You're a sweaty boy, just like mommy. The trophies collect dust, the day fades, you get old, your body sags. Why does this happen to me? Sniffs air. That's really all I gotta say about that.
It's game time and I'm up one. Name something I ain't done. Name a body that's my type. Air Jordan, I'll take flight. I'm next level, I'm franchise.
To our winner, Julia Renee.
Welcome back, guys, to another YouTube video. I have Vision here because honestly, he was just dying to come and be a part of the video. Say hi. Sniffs air. Okay, no kissing right now, no kissing. We could kiss later. All right, so in our last video, we did a figure versus wellness video with Alexa, and I was letting you guys know that at the end, I'm gonna do a, basically a prep update, because I feel like I haven't done one in a while, and that's mainly just because things have been kind of all over the place, and I haven't really been sure about what route we're gonna go so that I can share it with you, but I know that you guys kind of just wanna know even the little details that I don't think matter. This is my first week on like a keto diet. So coach wanted to try this approach for a couple of weeks to see if my body would respond well to higher fats. And cardio right now is at 50 minutes, so 5-0, which honestly hasn't been as challenging. I'm kind of used to having a higher amount of cardio, my body responding well to it, which is awesome. I'm getting through my cardio sessions really well. My knees have been aching a little bit. As y'all saw in that video before, I was like dying to get some knee straps because I didn't put them in my bag, and I was like, I really need to have these so that I can have the support that I need. So I think yesterday was a pretty lowish point for me because I started breaking out in like a rash on my face, my neck, and like behind my ears. So I don't even know if you guys can tell, but like my whole face like has this like texture to it to where like I look like sandpaper. So it's not like hivey or bumpy or anything. And this has happened to me a lot. Like when I first moved here to Austin and I was just adjusting to the new allergies, and also I have very sensitive skin, I got like cedar fever and my whole face like broke out in this type of like sandpaper type texture to where like it stings when I like sweat or like go out in the sun, but it's not like itchy or hivey. So it's like really, really weird. And I looked it up and I was like, does this have anything to do with me switching to my keto diet? So I looked it up and it said that yes, it could potentially be keto rash, but usually keto rash doesn't happen on your face. What are you smelling? He's like, oh, he smells your juice. It's okay, it's not for you. So I looked it up yesterday, but keto rash usually happens like on people's stomachs and on their back. So I was very confused. I had also had some new skin products introduced into my routine, and I thought maybe that was it, or maybe a certain hot sauce that I started using could have potentially been it. So I took those two both out the past 2 days, and my face is starting to decrease. I did my check-in with my coach this morning, and I just told him kind of all my concerns. I was like, honestly, I'm just feeling kind of like nothing is working. I'm feeling like a failure, and I have this like face rashy thing. So he literally called me like immediately when he got my check-in and just kind of like talked me off the ledge. And I was like, I'm just worried that like we're not gonna be ready in time. And he's like, Julia, we can just pick another show. And like, he just said that so simply. And I was like, you're right. Like, it's not the end all be all if we don't do this exact show, because we have until mid-November to qualify for the Olympia. And my first show date was gonna be at the beginning of September. So we have wiggle room for the show date if that's the case. I'm not saying that that's what's gonna happen, but if my body doesn't respond quick enough, then that might be the case, and I just have to be okay with that. So he literally just said it in simple terms, like, that's no big deal. Like, I'm not even worried about it. We just need to make sure that we're doing something that's working for your body. So we're going to test out to see how this new meal plan works, and if my skin starts to go down, he's gonna do like a keto/paleo approach to where every other day. I'm like going back and forth between the two. And this is just for like a short period of time for us to really see some fat loss and weight loss and see how my body responds well to it. Surprisingly, my strength in the gym is still very high. Like I'm not feeling lethargic or foggy. My knees have just been hurting a little bit from like the cardio and from the leg days, but I'm doing stuff to combat that. So drained, and I'm like, why? It's more like fatigue from training and from cardio, and then just the face, which is really bothering me, because you guys know I love wearing makeup, and like it just feels like weird, and the texture is weird, and I always have clear skin, so it's like annoying, but that's a dumb thing to be that annoyed about, I guess. So yeah, yesterday was really tough just because I was definitely playing the victim and like, why does this happen to me? Why is it so hard for me to lose weight? Which definitely, that talk just prolongs the problem. Like it's, basically I'm putting out into the universe that it has to be hard for me, that it has to be difficult, that I can't lose weight like other people, and that will definitely be what I attract if I keep saying that. So I'm just now trying to really switch my inner dialogue and just saying things like, this is a challenge that I choose, because this is a challenge I choose. I don't have to be doing any of this. Just like Coach was saying, he's like, you don't have to do that show. We could do another show. At the end of the day, I'm choosing to do this, and I know the risks. I know that it's difficult. I know that it can be a challenge, but this is a challenge that I choose. So why am I going to keep playing the victim if this is what I'm choosing in my life? So this kind of talk that I have for myself usually helps me. I'm not the kind of person that's like, you can do it, you're doing great. Like that motivation is great and all, and it works for other people, but for me it's more like I need like the slap in the face, and just very like logical, and that helps me. And it helps me get through these times where I am like questioning, like, why am I even doing this? I question things like, was I even made to be a bodybuilder? Like that's where my mind will start to trace to. And I usually am so good at just being like, no. And I've been so positive like this whole time. That was probably the lowest that I felt out of these 9, 10-ish weeks that we've been dieting so far. And I think it's because it was like my first real low dip that and I was on such a high that I took it really hard and was like, wait, I'm used to being up here and I'm down here. So, and today I feel so much better. Like it's a bad day, it's not a bad life. And that it might be a couple of days. Like sometimes you might feel low for a couple of days, or it might just be a day, and it always gets better. And today I'm feeling a lot better. I talked to my coach. We made a game plan. He let me know, like, if your rash gets worse, he's like, you call me immediately and we're changing everything. So I'm very happy to have a coach that like calls me immediately when I'm like feeling crappy, or I'm feeling like I want to give up, or I'm questioning like the show date, or I'm just like too much in my head, or anything about the diet. He's like right there for me. So that was really nice. You're making me sweat. You're a sweaty boy, just like mommy. Ugh. He needs to get groomed. He's furry. But yeah, that's basically what's going on. So now I got my check-in from my coach earlier this morning, and like I said, he called me. We went back and forth with those 2 meal plans. We're gonna start going with that to switch into, fur flying everywhere. Switch into those 2 meal plans and switch back and forth between them. Cardio is staying the same, and I have to update him about my face and everything. It's already feeling a little bit better today. What was weird is I kind of like, I don't know if this is the case, but I tested it out this morning with a certain hot sauce, and my ears started itching, which is so weird. Like my ears turned red and they were itching, and like behind my ears, which is where some of the irritation is. And I was like, is this the hot sauce? Or am I just freaking, am I stressing my body out so much? Like, these are the things that were going through my head. I'm like, am I stressing myself out so much over everything that I'm making myself break out in these like bumps on my face? And it's like, that can definitely be the case, because this has happened to me before, where I stress my body out so much about how things are gonna turn out, if they turn out perfect the way that I want to, being in control about what show I do and how I look, and it's basically just the lack of control that I have, which is a problem that I really struggle with, is not being able to control the result. And with this sport, like, you can't, because you're going and getting judged with people on stage, and you're getting judged, and people are imperfect, and you're judged by different people each time. So like, I can't control. I can only control what I do and how I show up, and if I follow my meal plan, and if I do my cardio and stuff, and that's all I can do. So I'm just gonna stay focused on that, and that's gonna help me push through the end of this prep. And one thing that I was watching this morning, because I watch everybody's show days. Like, if I can find a show day on YouTube, I watch people's show day. I even watch my own show day when I'm going through cardio, and like, I start getting bored and I start getting low energy and I'm not motivated. I'm like, okay, I need to put on something on YouTube that's gonna make me keep doing this cardio. And watching other people on stage at any level just reminds me of like why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for the journey, and seeing people and how they turn up on stage, and just all of the stuff that they went through and how much they grew to get to that point. Like, that inspires me. That's why I do what I do. That's why you're watching this video. So I watch other people too, you know? So I was watching this video by Laura Lee Chapados. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but she's Miss Bikini International. So she won the Arnold Classic last year. And I watched the video, and what's crazy is I've never found this video before, and I was actually there watching her at that stage, and I was actually in her video for like a split second talking to somebody, and I was there that day that she won it. And going and seeing like what actually happened and leading up to that point to where she won was like, she had just released a whole bunch of like crap and things that were like holding her back, and she won. Like, to win that show is like a huge honor, because it's Arnold's show. It's like almost, it's like Olympia, and it's like that show. Like, that's how high up it is in our industry. And so she won the overall for that, and just her talking about her journey going through it made me really realize that I've still been focused on like the end goal, because if I wasn't, then I wouldn't have cared so much about being ready at a certain date at a certain time, like I was talking with my coach. But anyways, in the video, she's basically saying things like, I realized that she's been doing this 7 years. That was also a reality check, that I've only been doing this for 3 years, and I have so much expectations for me to be so perfect and to do everything right and to like go to the very top as soon as possible, which can very much happen. It's just, I need to drop the attachment to how it happens. So she was talking about the 7 years of her competing, and how she really has to just focus on loving the work and loving the craft. And yesterday, when I was feeling crappy, that's a part of it. That's a part of the work. That's a part of the craft of bodybuilding, is loving those days when you are like, why the fuck am I doing this? I'm so tired, my knees hurt, I'm aching, but then again, it is your choice. So that's a part of the work. That's a part of bodybuilding, is loving those days. And she said as soon as she just realized like, the win will come, but I need to really just enjoy the work. And when it's my time and I'm ready, it'll come. And that's exactly what happened for her, because she won that show and got this huge, huge honor. And what's probably next for her is winning the Olympia title. So listening to that just made me realize, I was like, even though I preach to like enjoy the journey and love it, I still need to be checked myself, because it's so easy to get caught up in the date and the trophy and, you know, the photos and the aesthetic of it, that you forget about the work, because that is the majority of what this season is. You guys are gonna be watching tons of videos of me that have nothing to do with show day. And if I'm having a crappy time with all of those videos, which I haven't so far, I love doing this, then it defeats the purpose of the journey. There's one show day video that we have, and there's 50 plus videos of just the work leading up until that. So that was just a reality check to me. And for anything that you guys might be doing, like, I encourage you to just check in with yourself and remember like why you're doing this, and get connected back to the work, whether it's you're building a business or a relationship, whatever it might be, to get you to that point. Because once you get there, it's gonna be so much, it's gonna be so worth it. And if you don't, when you get to that point, it's not gonna mean that much. It's not gonna feel as good as you thought, because everything was riding on this one moment, that one dopamine hit. And then, like I always say, it's like the trophies collect dust, the day fades, you get old, your body sags, and you're not gonna be a bodybuilder forever. Like, that one moment can't be your ride or die. It's all of these moments, this video right now. So that was just another reality check that I had with this. And that's basically all I really wanted to talk about in this video. Those are the updates for prep so far. We haven't pushed the date. Mister, that hurts. We haven't pushed the date or anything yet. I'm just gonna keep enjoying the work, doing what I need to do, and showing up every single day and checking those boxes. Like, I did my cardio, I followed my meal plan, I showed up on YouTube. I showed up as genuine and vulnerable as I could, so that people know that when they're going through this too, that they're not alone. And if I just do all those every single day, then I will succeed. And it doesn't matter what time it is, it doesn't matter what show, it doesn't matter how it happens, and I need to release the control on all of that, because it's gonna happen when I'm ready. And that's exactly what happened with my pro card. I didn't get it my first try, and I was upset at first. And then I realized that I wasn't actually ready for it. I mentally wasn't ready. My body physically wasn't ready. I wasn't even ready to like accept what it meant to be an IFBB pro. And then when I won it on my second try, I was ready. I knew I was ready. Just looking back at the footage on stage, you can tell that I was there. I had arrived. I was ready to compete, and I was just me. It was just me on that stage. And I won because of it, because I was so connected with why I'm doing this. So that's really all I got to say about that. I know this is just a little talking video, but these are so important because of just documentation and me really, yeah, therapy. This is just like, we should call these like confessionals or therapy sessions. This is a little confessional for you guys. But yeah, I'll try and I'm gonna keep updating you more on like how my face is doing and like how the diet is doing, because my body is responding really well to it. I'm losing weight, and I'm just not losing it at the rate that I wish that I was, which I need to drop and just focus on what we're doing. And eventually I will get there, and if it's not in the time frame that I think I should, that's okay. So yeah, that's all. That is all. The end. And as always, guys, I love you all so much, and you're more powerful than you think. Bye.